Learning objectives. After completing this module, learners will be able to describe difference and prejudice, define and explain prejudice, discuss the creation of stereotypes, analyze and explain discrimination and inequality, explain the struggle to achieve equality. Diversity and prejudice. Many religions are practiced in India and more than over 1600 languages are spoken. Sometimes we meet people with different ideas. Differences in people exist on various grounds. These differences lead to prejudice. Prejudice means to form an opinion without realizing actual facts. Example, people think boys are good in sports. Prejudice is defined as judging other people negatively and seeing them as inferior in status. For example, people regard English as the best language and other languages as inferior. We might end up disrespecting people who speak languages other than English. Difference between rural and urban life. Rural people. More than 50% of Indians live in villages. People in village do not care about their health. They believe in superstition. They are backward and do not like to use modern agricultural technology. During harvesting and plantation season, families spend 12 to 14 hours working in the fields. Villagers are forced to migrate to cities in search of work. Urban people. Life in the city is easy. People are spoiled and lazy. Families spend very less time with each other. Living in a city is expensive. A major part of earning is spent on rent and transport. Creating stereotypes. As children grow up, boys and girls are taught to do certain types of tasks. These are based on certain types of stereotype images. It means to fix people into one particular image. Inequality and discrimination. Inequality and discrimination. Discrimination arises when people act on their stereotypes or prejudice. If a person does any action to humiliate another person or stops them from participating in certain activities or prevent them from draining water from same well and hand pump, then it is called discrimination against them. Reasons for discrimination. Diversity of different religions, different spoken languages, living in specific region, economic status, belong to group whose culture is not valued, caste-based discrimination. On being discriminated against, Dalit is a word used to address the people belonging to low castes. The word Dalit means those have been broken. This word shows how social prejudice and discrimination have broken the Dalit people. Dalit are referred as scheduled castes by the government. Beliefs of caste system. Some jobs are valued more than others. For example, works like washing, cutting hair, cleaning, picking garbage are considered as low-grade jobs, and the people who do this work are seen as dirty and impure. Communities or groups of people are placed in form of a ladder in caste system, where each caste is either above or below the other. People on the top of the ladder regard themselves as upper caste and see themselves as superior to other, while the people placed at the bottom of the ladder are regarded as unworthy and are called untouchables. Caste rules for untouchables. They were not allowed to take on jobs other than what they were meant to do. They were not permitted to enter the homes of upper caste. They were not allowed to take water from village well. They were not allowed to enter temples. The children of untouchables were not allowed to sit next to children of upper caste in school. Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar is known as the father of Indian Constitution, and he is also the best Dalit leader. Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar was born in Mahar caste, which was considered as low caste during that time. He was the first person from Mahar caste who was able to pursue college and went to England to become a lawyer. Dr. Ambedkar fought for the rights of Dalit community and encouraged Dalits to fight the caste system and work toward a society based on respect. Striving for equality. The struggle of large groups against British for equality was one among the other struggles from British rules. Dalit, women, tribal and peasants have fought for long against inequality. In 1947, when India became a nation, the main concern of the leaders was the different kinds of inequalities that existed. The Constitution of India is written in such a way that all people of India are considered equal. The framers of the Indian Constitution aimed to overcome discrimination and inequality of the society. The Indian Constitution offers equal rights and opportunities to all the people of India. According to the Indian Constitution, untouchability was a crime and it had been legally abolished by law. People were free to choose their work. Jobs in government were open for all. People were granted freedom to follow their religion, speak their language, celebrate their festivals, and expose themselves freely. The government had to take steps to maintain right to equality for poor and marginal communities. To guarantee equality, India became a secular state. Summary. Let us summarize what we have learned. Many religions are practiced in India and more than over 1600 languages are spoken. Differences lead to prejudice. Prejudice means to form an opinion without realizing actual facts. Discrimination is when people act on their prejudices or stereotypes. A group of people may be seen inferior as they speak a different language, follow another religion, and have different customs and practices. People may suffer discrimination on economic or social grounds. Tribal, some religious groups, and some regions are discriminated against others for several reasons. People are engaged in certain types of occupations. Certain kinds of jobs are more valued than others. Caste rules did not allow the so-called untouchables to take on work of their choice. Instead, they were forced to serve the high class. Dr. Ambedkar suffered discrimination in school when he was only of 9 years of age. He emerged as the pioneer of rights of Dalit. He believed the Dalit must fight for their rights and raise voice against caste system. The struggle for freedom against British rule also strived for equality. Dalit, women, tribal and peasants have fought for long against inequality. People were granted freedom to follow their religion, speak their language, celebrate their festivals, and expose themselves freely.